Okay. Why isn't it letting me comment? Oh my gosh. That is so frustrating. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a secondary tiny window, and I'm going to find a way to let's see. Oh, this is so frustrating, you guys. Hold on, let me see. Where are you? Okay. What I'm going to do, I'm not in full screen, but it's not letting me comment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up another window, and Viviana, I'm going to send Viviana comments to post for me in a little messenger. So Viviana, I don't know if you're capable of doing that, but I hope you are. I'm going to start a new message with Viviana, and anytime I need to post a comment, I'm going to send it to her, Vivi. Okay, there's Viviana. Okay, there's the first one I want you to post for me, Viviana. Okay, hopefully that works. It's so strange. That's so weird. Okay, Viviana is going to post my comment. So anything that hopefully, anything that I want to post, I'm just going to send to her, and she's going to post for me. And it'll be perfect. So the first video I sent to her is a video of kindergartners doing a movie talk. And they're so capable and so eager. Sorry about that cutoff, guys. And I know I'm missing now 7 people who are probably like, I can't find the video. I'm so sorry. But I needed to be able to comment, and I still can't. But at least Viviana is helping us. So, so you definitely start movie talk with little kids. And there's so many movies you can do. This one that I'm going to show you is called The Easy Life. I wouldn't do it with elementary, but I want to start showing you, and I want you to start thinking, oh, Viviana posted it. Perfect. Thank you so much, Viviana. I want you to start thinking about not just viewing the video with your kids for the purposes of viewing this really cool, compelling video. Yes, you have to still make sure it's the compelling video, but the video is not the most important part. Thank you for those of you just joining. I'm so sorry. It's Viviana Guy is the person commenting. Lori, it's like 5 comments above the one that you just wrote. So Viviana is posting, for those of you who are just joining us back, again, I'm sorry about that. Viviana is going to post anything that I want to post in the comments. She is going to I'm going to send them to her, and she's going to comment and post. I don't know why I don't have access. I'm going to look into it and hopefully change it for next time. So I want to show you and make you start thinking about how to not just see this as a really compelling video, but pausing it frequently. Oh, rules for video chats. Number 1 most important rule is shh. That's what I tell my kids. It's up there. It's up there. Oh, really? Damn it. Oh, sorry, it just said a bad word. Oh dear. Viviana, can you post it one more time? Let's see. Okay, she just did it again, guys. Oh wait, let me try. Let me just to make sure I sent the right one. Okay. Movie talk with little ones. It's on my YouTube. Here is pause. There we go, pause. There we go, Viviana. I'm sending it again in case. No, it's literally the same one. Same one. Okay, there we go. Oh no, it's okay. hold on. Let's not panic. I'm not too worried yet. Okay, so here's my phone. Number one rule is shh. So if you've seen this before and you were in my class, I would tell you you can't spoil it for everybody else. So when I'm asking questions, you can't like say, oh, well, this happens next. You can't be a spoiler. 98% of the time, the kids have never seen the video, which is great. Every now and then you have a kid who is obsessed with like cartoon animations and they've seen all of them, which there's nothing you can do about that. That's fine. The second rule is no seas quejón. Don't be a whiner, because you are going to pause the video a billion times, as many times as you need to. And the kids are going to get frustrated with that because they want to just keep watching. But the purpose is not to get through this video. It's to generate authentic, organic conversations about them for personalizing it, right? So that's not the goal. So no seas quejón, don't be a whiner. That's rule number 2. And then rule number 3 is participate 100% of the time. They have to be active participants in the class. Here we go. This is so hard to do backwards. Oh, hi, fiance. Ooh. Oh, no. It's really hard to do this backwards. What am I going to do? And it's a really good commercial. Okay, let's see. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we have a girl in her room, and I was trying to pause it even sooner. I was trying to pause it right back here, because right here is a perfect moment to pause. She's in her bedroom. There we go. She's in her bedroom. She's sitting, and all we see is like some sheets with strawberries on them. So I pause right there, and I'm like, do you have, oh yeah, your 7th graders hate it when you pause, but that's why you need to have the no whining rule, for sure. So my YouTube channel is just La Maestra Loca. I'm La Maestra Loca on everything except for Teachers Pay Teachers, because there's 3 people on there using that name. And they've all popped up in the last year, oddly enough, which is frustrating. You pause there and you immediately start asking kiddos what their, how many people stay in their room with them. Like, do they share a room with their brothers and sisters? What does your room look like? Tell them what your room looks like. And you just stop and see how long that can go for and where that spirals. They also noticed in this photo, when I did this with kids, that she's got like this TV thing over there. So they notice like, okay, she's got a TV, which is a perfect opportunity for you to ask, well, do you have a TV in your room? Me saying, I don't have a TV in my room. I don't want a TV in my room. And then for some conversations, that organically leads to, how much TV do you watch? This is all personalization. Who cares? Like, we're literally 7 seconds into this video. 7 seconds. And I'm not talking at all about this video anymore. At all. How much TV do you watch? Well, what TV do you watch? And then other kids are like, I don't watch TV. I watch Netflix. And I'm like, how is that not TV? Okay, what are your favorite shows on Netflix? We've now gone in 10 different directions. This is all in the target language. All in the target language. This is just generating organic, authentic conversation with the kids. What shows do you watch on TV? Okay, so you watch Netflix, and then other kids are like, I don't watch any of that. I watch YouTube. And I'm like, okay, do you watch YouTube on your TV or on your phone? And then some kids will tell you they have it on their Roku or their like Fire Stick, and they just go to YouTube, so it's on their TV. Other kids will tell you they just sit on their phone. And then it leads into the conversation of YouTubers. Our kids right now, if you don't know about this, you need to know about this. You have to know what they're into. Our kids right now are obsessed with this YouTube craze, this YouTube sensation. A lot of your kids probably want to be YouTubers. They probably want to be YouTubers. That means they want to be video creators. A lot of them, they just want to play video games and videotape them and become a YouTube gamer. So they are obsessed with this idea of a YouTuber making millions of dollars off of posting YouTube videos, which is going to be me someday, by the way. I just know it. I'm going to make so much money off of my YouTube videos. But I tell them that. I pretend like I'm a YouTuber. I'm like, yeah, totally. Yes, that's what the movie is called. Mickey Movie Talk with Kindergarten La Maestra Loca. Thank you so much. TPT is Teachers Pay Teachers. I used to blog with the same name. Really? Oh my God. It's just been, it's crazy. I've had this blog for years and people are popping up now. I'm gonna put my favorite videos up in a little bit. That link is good, they said, Viviana. Was adding Facebook links. Okay. It looks like that one was that worked. Do you struggle with the classroom management in L2? I stopped to point to the rules so many times and have conversations with Agua Fiestas, but it's such a struggle. Is this just me or is it cutting out for others? I have a really strong internet connection on mine. We pay for the highest because of the work I do. So I know it's not on my end. Thank you for the link to the Easy Life video. Okay, so no, I don't struggle with classroom management in L2 because generally if you're having huge struggles, it might be that they're not understanding. It might be that it's too out of bounds. So make sure you're being 100% comprehensible and really, really intentional around that. And then constantly going back to what your rules, what you're already doing, is what you want to do. Because you need to constantly reestablish exactly what you want and those expectations. Another thing is, if they're doing an activity or something that they're not doing how you wanted, you need to go back to think about whether you modeled it well, because if it wasn't modeled perfectly for them, then yeah, they're going to struggle with it. It sounds like Anne was watching on her computer and it was cutting out, so she switched to her phone and it's been fine now. But other people are saying it's not cutting out. So once that conversation has dwindled or it hasn't taken on a lot of different avenues, come back and look at it again. But then I'll point out another way that it went with a different class. Somebody observed the strawberries on her bed cover, and they were like, "Oh, I wouldn't have that." And I was like, "Wow, that seemed really strong." And we got into this conversation. She hates strawberries. I was like, "What?" I've never met a person that really despises a berry, a fruit. So she hates strawberries. And so we went down this road of what foods do we really, really dislike? Like, what's our absolute least favorite food? Because so often we talk about what foods we like. It was really fun, and we just talked forever about foods we totally dislike. And then imagine having a whole bedroom of the fruit we disliked, or food we didn't like. So that's literally, again, we've gone through 7 seconds of video, and there's still 2 minutes and some left. So then you hit play again, and then you pause it, and she yawned. So you just ask them, "Hey, are you guys tired? How do you think she feels?" "Oh, tired." "Yeah, probably." "How do you feel? Do you feel tired? When do you feel tired?" "Oh, you feel tired after math class?" "Why do you feel tired after math class?" "Oh, it's a harder class." "Well, how do you feel after mine?" And then kids are like, "Oh, really tired." And I'm like, and then we have a discussion over rigor and why listening, and I can break into English here and remind them, pop-up theory, why we learn the way we do and why we're acquiring, and take 1 minute to talk about why their brains physically hurt and remind them why we do brain breaks. My kids know brain breaks are not games. They know they are because acquiring a language is incredibly rigorous, and listening to me speak in Spanish 95% of the time or more is really, really challenging. And so we do brain breaks to literally give their brains break in the rigor because it's so exhausting. So I think that that's a really important conversation. And then when you ask what she's doing, And they're like, oh, homework. I'm like, how do you know she's doing homework? And they're like, that's the homework face. I'm like, oh, looks like a sad face. And then I said, well, does your Spanish teacher give you homework? And they say, no. And I said, no. I hate homework. Never, ever, 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 ever assign homework unless it's absolutely mandatory at my school. So she is sitting there doing her homework, and I'm like, well, what homework do you think she's doing? And then they make a guess, and I'm like, well, what classes do you have homework in? What classes do you have the most homework in? What classes are the most challenging for homework? How much time do you spend on homework a night? And I found out that some of my 8th graders in honors classes last year were spending up to 3-4 hours on homework a night. 8th grade. Let me just repeat that. 3 or 4 hours a night. So again, this is why I don't assign homework. They already have too much. But this is a really, really passionate topic for them. They can talk about it forever. So literally, this was in a Spanish 1 class. The only new word I had to introduce in this video was hace, does, or makes. And I introduced hace so we could say like she does her homework. And then it spun off to when do you do your homework? And the athletes got really heated about feeling like they are always in trouble or always like punished, but they didn't know how to say punished, so they said in trouble for being in sports because they get home at 8 o'clock and then have to start their homework. And what about eating? Oh, they eat while they do their homework. Forget family time, you guys. These are middle schoolers, and they don't get family time anymore because they have so much homework to do when they get home. So the kids in extracurriculars felt like they were punished for being in extracurriculars because then they couldn't go home and start their homework right away, so they were up all night doing homework. And then, guess what? They're still kids. So what are they doing afterwards? Playing Fortnite or on YouTube all night. So they're not getting good sleep at all. Forget 8 hours. I had one student who actually FaceTimed me a week ago. He's a freshman this year. He got on average 2 hours a night last year. 2 hours a night. And he was like average student, good student, not like top of the class, but average student. And he spent so much time on YouTube and Fortnite after because he needed to still be a kid and have his kid time that he was getting about 2 hours of sleep a night, which is crazy. Are the students able to reply to all my questions in the target language? Oh, no, I never translate. I got to stay in the target language. They have to stay in the target language. We are literally, all of us as a class, in Spanish 95% of the time. I don't even, after 8 weeks, and I'm going to talk about this another time, after 8 weeks, I don't even allow como se dice anymore. I have a couple blogs on circumlocution. I have to explicitly teach them circumlocution. So they have to be answering me in Spanish. Do they, every kid have to tell me what their room looks like or what their favorite YouTuber is? No. If they volunteer a suggestion, then yeah. But that's what's so important about the compelling, authentic piece. Because if you're really being authentic and compelling, every kid at some point is going to want to speak and communicate, which we want that, because if it's compelling enough, they will take those risks. So we want to be pushing them to take those risks, but creating a really safe environment for them to do that. How much English is allowed for them to answer? They don't answer in English. They can't. So I'm helping them at first. If it's really, really novice level and we're just talking about fruit, then I'm going to say prefieren, and I'll pull up pictures. Like, forget the movie talk. Put the video away. Pull up Google. Actually, Kiddle is the safe one. Viviana, will you post that, please? www.kiddle, kiddle.co, not com, .co. I'll pull up Kiddle and type in any word like sandia, which is watermelon, and pictures of sandia will come up. And So sandia will come up, and then I'm just saying, prefieren sandia o fresas? And I'll point back to the bed sheets of the girls. And the kids will automatically say sandia o fresas. So I'm helping them answer in Spanish, but I'm never, 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 never taking English answers. I have to stomp out English of my classroom. When they cross that threshold, they know the unicorn tape that is infused with unicorn boogers is helping them stay in the target language, and I have to make sure it is a safe place where they know that I will help them get the Spanish, but the more input I can give them, the sooner they'll start to be able to output. It has to be an all target language classroom. They don't code switch at all to elaborate on something complex. They want to. You have to train them not to. Because if you start allowing, if you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. And I say they are going to take a mile because it's not just that one kid. If you give that one kid permission to speak English, they will go with it. And for me, I've seen other people like allow, okay, 5 seconds of English. I can't afford to do that. Because if I allow 5 seconds for English for you, and then 5 seconds for English for you, and I have 28 kids in every single class this year, no way, no shot. We will eat up so much time that will go way past the 10% that ACTFL says I'm allowed of English time. I need to help them and support them and I need to stay in the target language. So don't worry, Mindy, it's okay. And I will respond to you, but I need to do it through La Maestra Loca. And I'm just overwhelmed and super busy right now, but I will get to it. Do I pre-teach much vocabulary before the video chat? No, because I don't know what vocabulary is going to come up. Because I'm non-targeted, I don't know what direction we're going in. So because I never am picking the video based on structures, I just pull up a compelling video and see where it goes because I know what each class has already acquired. When personalizing, kids often answer in English because they don't have the vocab, like homework, for example. So we need to teach them to circumlocute. No, it is not okay for them to answer in English. And students have no real knowledge. That's fine. First year. They're super novices, and I'm new to CI and new to the school. How do they stay in the target language when they know barely anything? You have to feed them the vocab. They won't know anything until they get enough input. They won't know anything until they get enough input. So what's a way to circumlocute homework as a novice learner? There's a million ways. I would literally have them close their eyes, and I would say, okay, guys, I need you right now. Everybody is going to think about how to circumlocute the word homework. And they're going to sit there, and then eventually I'm going to say, when you have an idea, raise your hand, keep your eyes closed. Some hands are going to go up, hands are going to go down. And then you say, open your eyes, and you call on some of the kids that were confident, call in a mid-range first, and a kid is going to say, clase, papeles, casa. And I'm like, perfecto, awesome, muy bien. En casa, tenemos papeles. In the house, we have papers, papeles, para las clases de la escuela, para matemáticas, para ciencias. You guys, if you are a Spanish and French teacher, you have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cognates to work with. So you list their classes, then you call on a higher kid, and the higher kid might say, muchos papeles, maestra le da. I'm like, oh, the teacher gives the papers. Awesome, super, super bien. So I'm writing up their suggestion. Then I ask a kid who is your barometer, who also raised their hand confidently, which a lot of time is the class clown who doesn't mind taking the risks at all, and they go, I'm like, oh, that's a great way to circumlocute homework. Good job. Give high fives all around. Then you give them the word tarea. You write tarea up. It is your out-of-bounds word for the video. I try not to do more than 2 or 3 out-of-bounds words in a class because they can't acquire them. It's not worth it. Thanks for posting the link for Kittle. Thanks for posting the circumlocution blog. Viviana, you're the best. Your kids don't even know enough Spanish to circumlocute. Then your focus is just input right now, Anne. Just input, because if they can't output it all, that you need to be flooding them with input. At least 90% of your class needs to be very sheltered input. You are starting with high frequency structures that come up organically. The kids feel like they want to say likes, you go with likes, and you use likes 300, 400 times organically in a class. I like, you like, oh my gosh, she likes what? You're using that as many times as you can, because the next week, if they've heard likes 500 times, they're going to start saying, le gusta chocolate. And you'll say, oh, me gusta también, me gusta chocolate. ¿Te gusta chocolate? Qué fantástico. You need to flood them with input so that eventually they can get to outputting. English, no English is so right, and it has to be perspective switch. It has to be a perspective switch. Do you have students respond or translate to English to show reading or listening comprehension? I'm not talking about reading today. That's going to be another video, but yes, absolutely. Because that's a comprehension check. That's to show what they are understanding, right? And I'm allowed to say como se dice as many times as I want. I can say, and that's what drives them nuts come 8 weeks. They're like, we can't say como se dice anymore. I'm like, nope, that's just me. And I say como se dice all class because I need to be checking that they're with me. The second I don't have 100% choral response, if it's like 90%, I need to be always pushing for that 100, not allowing 90. But if all of a sudden I have 70% response, I am willing to bet, and Michelle said this on the Facebook page the other day, I'd be willing to bet they're not understanding. I need to stop, rewind, say, I noticed I have 70% of you responding. And I can say that in Spanish because I have my 70% on the wall. I have my chart on the wall. You can see a classroom tour in one of my last blogs. So I have my chart on the wall and I say, escucho 70%. And I point to the 70%. And I say, yo quiero 100%. And then I go, and then I can switch into English real fast. I can, they can't. I'm wondering if you don't understand. So I'm going to rewind and repeat. I don't have to say that in English all the time, but in the beginning of the year, I might need to just let them know it's okay if you're not understanding. Here I am rewinding and going back. A lot of people have a sign or a signal when children aren't understanding. A lot of teachers do that. I've seen it done really successfully. I don't. But if you're new to CI, it's a really good idea to do that. It's a really good idea to show you how frequently kids might be getting lost. For me, I do it all. I teach to the eyes, 100% Susie Gross. Teach to the eyes. I can tell instantly when I've lost kids. So if I'm getting 70%, it's not always that they're just getting lazy and not wanting to 100% choral response. It might be that they're just not comprehending. So I need to rewind and repeat and go way slower and try again. Okay. They don't even know word papel yet, right? So I'm saying you have to flood it. You're not being negative. It's fine. That's what I'm saying, Anne. If they know nothing, you need to give them input. They're not going to know anything until you flood them with input. They're not going to comprehend anything until you flood them with input. Card talk, video chats, whatever you need to do to flood them with input. Focus on the most important high frequency words, and you need to get them there, right? So, and CI is the way to do it. Giving them lists of words to memorize will do absolutely nothing. I promise you, it's proven. That will not help them acquire and start outputting. Promise. You can get to it, Lori. You can get to it. You have to train them to circumlocute and go so slow with them and praise the heck out of them. Because if you think about it, kids are the best circumlocutors ever. It's what they do all the time. Little ones, oh my gosh. Elementary students are professional circumlocutors. professional circumlocutors. All of my students have to be trained all of the time on how to circumlocute. All of the time. I pause and I say, okay, bear. Somebody really wants to say the word bear. I'm not giving it to you until you can circumlocute it. Everybody help each other out. Some kids are like, ah, animal. I'm like, great. Another kid is going to say, animal grande. Ha. And then your more advanced kids are going to say more. It doesn't, you have to meet them where they're at. And if they are at novice, you need to meet them where they're at by flooding them with input. Flooding them. Yes, about no English. I've been allowing it too much, and they're really taking advantage of that. Kids do, and you can't blame them for that. Mondays, I'm starting no Inglés, and we're practicing circumlocution. Yay, awesome. And I'm going to have videos within the next 3 weeks of kids who have never, ever, ever had classes before of Spanish, ever. My kids are all brand new. And you need to just flood them with input. And I think right now you're overwhelmed and nervous about it, but you won't get them anywhere if you're that apprehensive and feeling like they won't get it. You've got to flood them with input and know that you can get them there. Because if you're already like, I'm never going to get them there, you're not, because you already have a mental block to it. So you have to know, be confident that you will get there. Be confident that CI is really, really tough to learn, but you're going to figure it out. And be confident that it's the best thing for them. Because you've seen what, after 2 years, kids can do. It's amazing. How much time is input at a time? How many minutes per input session? Oh, you mean class? Before a brain break. I can't tell you about brain breaks. Brain breaks are totally dependent on your kids, your school, your community, the lesson you're doing. When I was at my learning labs this summer in IFLT, a friend timed me one day and said I do brain breaks every 3 minutes with littles. With my middle schoolers, some days I do them every 5 minutes. Sometimes I do them every 10. Brain breaks are short. I'm doing a whole nother live video about brain breaks. I don't want to talk too long about them. And sometimes I do one in a class. It's all dependent. You have to feel it out, Lily, just like you said. You have to feel it out. Okay, so of course you can target. I'm not against targeting. I'm so not against targeting. I think targeting non-targeted versus targeted, it's 100% effective either way. I think it's a personality thing. You can absolutely target. I don't know that you'd have them. I never have kids study because it's not helping. The way you can maybe, if you really need them to have some sort of homework or you're required to give homework, then have them read texts with the Sweet 16 embedded in the text. But studying doesn't help them at all. Seeing it 150 times on flashcards isn't the same as hearing it in context. It's totally different. After how many class periods did you start No Inglés? Right now I'm still in my English week because I've only seen them 2 days. So I haven't started Spanish yet, but as soon as I start Spanish, the second I start Spanish, it's No Inglés. The second I start Spanish. Okay. Okay, back to this. Okay, so now literally, guys, how many seconds is that? 12 seconds is all we've done. 12 seconds. Then you stop it because, oh my God, her doll just woke up. The doll just woke up. Kids are freaking out. And in high levels, your upper levels, because I know a lot of you teach the upper levels. This is so easy to do a million C clauses. If you had a doll that woke up at night, what would you do? If you saw this, what would you do? So talk about the doll, and then lower levels, who has dolls. And no, they don't have the word doll. That's not the focus. You point to it and you say muñeca, and they'll be like, oh, that must mean doll. You have a visual that you're pointing to and you're saying muñeca. Hay una muñeca. La muñeca tiene pelo negro. Like, you don't need anything more than muñeca. So I'll write that under tarea. There's my second word, muñeca. But they'll have it right away because you're pointing to it. Who likes dolls? Most of your kids are going to be like, I don't have dolls anymore. It's like, okay, do you think that doll is creepy? Do you think she's pretty? She woke up. Okay, everybody stand up, wake up, sit down. Brain break, whatever you need to do. So we've literally gone through 17 seconds. It is almost 10:30. I want to share with you right now my favorite videos of all time that are really good for generating personalization. What I want everybody to do today after this video, if you're interested in really thinking about it, is sitting down with any of these movies, going through and literally pausing every second. And I'm going to challenge you to do it literally every second. And if that's really too hard for you, then every 2 seconds, pausing, stopping, and thinking, okay, how can I now, how many questions can I generate right now on this second of the video? Not about the video necessarily. Yes, in small parts about the video, but more importantly, how many questions can you generate about them for personalization? What's going on in the video? Is it snowing? What's it look like outside? Okay, now you know it's snowing. Have you seen snow? My kids haven't seen snow, most of them. Where is snow? Does it snow here? Personalization. How many questions can you generate off of every 2 seconds? This should take you a good half hour to go through a movie. And what I would do is I'd voice text it to myself. But if you're a scripter, then write them all out. You'll be shocked. People are like, what do you mean you stretched a 2-minute video for 5 classes? I'm like, at least 5 classes. I could have done more. Because it's not about the video, it's about the personalization that comes out of the video. That's what's most important. Viviana, I'm going to start sharing links with you that I'd love for you to post. Guys, as I share a link with Viviana to post, I'm going to tell you what the video is. The first thing I'm sharing is actually a database for movie talks. And the reason I'm not just showing that is because I think that while it's great, there's 2 I'm sharing that Viviana is going to post. While it's great, it's overwhelming. So if you're the person that is totally fine with going through and weeding them out and watching every single one, great. If you're like, but give me your go-tos, I'm going to give you my favorite ones right now. And I'm probably going to blog about this later today or tomorrow so that people have my favorite videos. There's 2 databases. I'm going to close them out so I know what I've already shared. I'm going to look and see if she's posted them. Okay, they're both up. There's 2 databases full of movie talks. What are your thoughts on picture talking screenshots of the video versus pausing the actual video? More prep work, but can cut down on the whiting. Blair, my honest answer is it doesn't cut down on my whining from my experience, and I don't have the time to do that. I wish I had time to prep that, but in my life, and it could be because I do too much blogging and other things, but I don't have the time to prep those slides. If they're pre-prepped, I might use them, but I find that kids are just as, and my kids are like, wait, is this a video? And I'll say, yeah. And they're like, well, why can't we just watch the video and pause the video? Then I've done this work for nothing. So that's my answer for that. I think that with little kids, it could work better because they might not know it's a video. So it might cut down on the whining there. But middle schoolers, no. And high schoolers, no. So if you have time, and I don't know how you have time as an elementary teacher because you have like 19 preps. or 19 different classes, I should say, which are really 19 preps if you're really doing like authentic conversation based on your kids. It's a lot, but more power to you. Okay, it is so time consuming. Okay, Viviana just posted those two databases. The next video I'm going to post is one that's really good to do around creepy Halloween time. Viviana is going to post it. It's called Alma, and it's one that a lot of people love. So many people who do movie talk already are like, oh, I know, I love it too. So Alma is fantastic and really creepy, and I'm not going to tell you anything other than it's about a little girl in a doll shop. Really good. The next one is also creepy, and you can only do it with older kids. Don't worry, I'm going to give you elementary stuff too. The next one I'm going to give you is called Closet Space. And Closet Space is a kid favorite. I didn't think I was even going to be able to watch it, Closet Space, because I was peeing my pants with fright. But it's so good. Okay. Let's see. It does take a while to make those PowerPoints. I'm watching a long movie called something with my French for high schoolers. Should I use the same approach as for short? Yeah, you could totally do that. But you might have to pause less frequently. Especially if it sounds like it's a French video, you might need to pause less frequently anyways because they're hearing the French. But yeah, you should totally do that. Let's see. So Viviana just posted a couple more. You'll never get through it, but I bet you could just pick some scenes to personalize. Yeah, exactly. You don't want to pause it every second, but yeah, totally. Okay, so I've given you Closet Space. I've given you that other one. Now I'm going to give you one that's a Disney short. It's not on YouTube, but it's for free on Disney. And it is called Dante's Lunch. And I've sent it to Viviana. She's going to post it. Viviana, I'm so grateful for you. Everybody is so grateful for you. So Dante's Lunch is really, really good, and it's adorable for any age. I did it with my middle schoolers. I've done it once with a high school class that I was modeling with, and it's really good for elementary. So Dante's is up now. This one is called Lily and the Snowman, and if you search on my blog, I know I have a blog about this one too. So here it is. I love you too, Viviana. I've sent it to Viviana. She's going to post it. It's called Lily and the Snowman, and it's precious. It's about a little girl who builds a snowman, and then the snowman comes to life. It's really, really sweet, and it's just magical. Okay, the next one I'm going to show you is amazing for any language teacher, but especially Spanish teachers around Day of the Dead. And it's a CGI video of Day of the Dead. And it's an animated short of Day of the Dead. And a lot of people just show this as a video around Day of the Dead. Movie talk it. It's so good. Or not movie talk, sorry, video clip it. It's really, really good. The next one I'm going to send you is such a tear jerker. Oh my gosh. It is, how much talking do you do per class varied versus your students? Varies per level, but do you find yourself talking too much at times? I feel like I need to be super conscious. No. You need to talk. You need to talk the majority of the class because that's how they're getting input. You have to talk. You have to talk. If they want to open their mouth, great, but you have to be the talking. Do you mute the videos? Great question, Courtney. I mute them only if there's a lot of English. If it's just music, I let the music play. Okay, so I'm sending Viviana the next one. It's called In a Heartbeat. It is such a tearjerker. It's amazing. I love it so much. It's about a little boy who has a crush on another little boy, and they look like they're in early high school or late middle school, and it's beautiful. And I had one of the most powerful lessons in a class when kids just started to build empathy and one little boy was able to finally kind of come out as himself in that class space, and I've never cried so hard in my life. Oh my gosh, so heartwarming. So that one's posted. The next one is called The Present, and this is a really common one that people really like to use. It's super great. It's about a little boy who receives a present, and I'm not going to tell you too much more than that because I want you to enjoy it. The next one I'm going to share with you, I know this feels like a lot, but I want you to have a lot to watch today for fun. This one is called The Controller. And if you came to my learning labs this year, I did a learning lab in Vermont and a learning lab at IFLT in Cincinnati. And it was so good. And it's called The Controller. And kids are obsessed with video games, guys. So it's really good. The next one is a great one for high school or middle school. And it is a video. Viviana, are you keeping up? I'm sorry, I haven't checked. I think The Controller is posted, or it's about to be posted. The next one I'm going to post is called or Viviana's posting for me. It's called First Date, and it's a commercial that, yes, I definitely muted, and it's with Kevin Hart, and it was a Super Bowl commercial, and it's Kevin Hart as a dad, and Kevin Hart is not so into his daughter dating. Let's just say that. Super good. So Controller is posted. This is called First Date, and it's with Kevin Hart, and I pretty much am just obsessed with Kevin Hart, so I was super excited when I found it. I actually only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more, guys. 5 more. Hang in there. This next one is called Icarus. The reason I like it, I know there's some questions, so I'm going to come back to the questions. Don't worry. Okay, so this next one is called Icarus, and it is a commercial from Germany, and it's powerful and beautiful, and you will cry, and your students will cry, and it's wonderful. The next one is a commercial that is, I highly recommend not doing with anyone younger than 7th grade. Because if you have kids who still believe in Santa, because I had kids in 7th grade last year who still believed, so I didn't do it with 7th graders. I only did it with 8th. You have to make sure that the magic is still there all the time, right? So this is an amazing video. It's a commercial from Spain about 3 kings, because in Spain it's the 3 kings, it's not Santa. And it's so good. And it's in the target language, which is amazing. And if you don't teach Spanish, you can still use it. And the next one is another commercial. And I showed it last year because Dustin Williamson used it as part of his commercial madness, Navidad commercial madness. And it's called Repsol, and it's this beautiful love story of these kids growing up from like 4 years old on. So good. And then I have 2 more to share, and these 2 are actually, they cost $1.99. You can find free versions of them, but they're not good. So if you want to not pay for them, that's fine, but definitely just hit mute. Don't even play the music. They're rip-offs. People who have pirated them from Disney, and it breaks my heart, and I just think we should spend the $1.99 and have them forever. The first one is La Luna, and the second one is Partly Cloudy, and they are wonderful with any age. La Luna and Partly Cloudy. There we go. And they're wonderful. And I actually saw them when I worked for Disney as an English teacher in China, and I used them, and they were unbelievable. Okay, so I'm going back up to answer some of these questions. How often do you use these? Daily, every couple of days, a few times a month? I love them, but I don't want to lose novelty. Yep, good point. So I know a couple friends who literally do them as soon as they finish one, they start another one. But I agree with you, novelty is so important. So I just play it by ear. Sometimes it's once a week. Sometimes it's 2 in a month. You're absolutely right. Feel it out, Stacy, and see what you want your kids to always love these videos. And they will if they're compelling, right? Okay, let's see. On that topic, how do you deal with admin who interprets teacher providing input as teacher-centered versus student-centered? Have them come and sit in your classroom. That's it, Jennifer. Literally, it's so I am so tired of hearing sage on the stage. We're not sage on the stage, especially if you are working on personalization every day. My kids steer every single second of my classroom. It is the most student-centered classroom in my building, period. Period. Yes, I am talking all the time. They are steering every moment of that conversation. Have that principal come and sit in your room. I loved the present. Yes, it's so good. Controller is so good. Students cannot provide their own input. Just give them something about CI theory. Quick, dirty, maybe. Yeah. And have them come to your parents' night, guys. Have them sit through a lesson for parents and see how excited parents get. I tried that, so many great solutions, but now is to plan traditional student output type games on the days I know I'm being observed, which sucks. It sucks that we have to do that, but you can totally do that. But play output games where everybody's talking at the same time. I do that intentionally. Those are the elements of OWL that I incorporate. And it's amazing. My proficiency has soared. I just don't do it all the time, and I make sure everybody's doing it at the same time. I have lots of videos on my YouTube of that. It sucks if admin are not on board. It really sucks. Hardcore sucks. So I know you said your use is non-targeted, but how do you decide which video content you want to show when? You don't pick based on targets, even if you're targeted. If you're targeted and you have X, Y, Z words that you want to fit into a video, you can fit those into any video. You just need you need to pick a compelling video. Pick which one you think your kids are going to like the most or they're going to find the most like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And then you find a way to fit your targets into that. How is your voice at the end of the day? Do you use a microphone? I have lots of friends who use microphones. I was trained in the theater, so I know how to use my voice. And I am loud, too. If you watch these videos, I'm loud. And I know that is not the same for everybody. So I have a couple friends who bought like those cheap little microphones from Amazon. You need to save your voice. It's really important. If you don't know how to use your voice, you need to either take a class on it or get a microphone for sure. Okay, we have gone over time. I have to go and pick up my Maya for breakfast. I'm so excited to see this girl. She's so grown now. It's crazy. She's not a little 6th grader anymore. So these videos are, unfortunately, because I had to stop the recording, we're going to post it in 2 chunks. Everybody at your computer, please give a round of applause for Viviana, because I don't know what I would do without her in my life or in this video today. I'm very, very grateful to her for posting all of these things. I'm going to do a blog later with all the links, including the links to these videos in case you came in late. But they will be in 2 parts, and they will be up on my YouTube. But for now, I'm going to go. But the next live video is going to be on how to do Song of the Month. And it's going to be at 9 a.m. next Saturday, the 15th. 9 a.m. next Saturday, the 15th. And I'm going to have some weekday ones after that. But next week is my first full week of school. I had kids on Thursday and Friday. But I need to be able to settle into this first week with them. So next Saturday, 9 a.m., I'll talk about how to use Song of the Month in your classes. And I'm sorry to shut down some of your questions as you're asking them. I just when I pick a topic, I really want to stick well to that topic, especially since I'm using these videos on YouTube later. And I will get to all the topics and all the things and eventually, and I'll keep blogging, but I'm trying to stay as focused as possible. A couple more. I teach K through 12. I only see 45 minutes once a week. This is my first year with CI. I was thinking of alternating video chat, picture talk, movie, story listening, thoughts in elementary. Yep. Take it slow and lower your expectations. And if you only have them 45 minutes once a week, holy cow, that is no time. That is no time. You focus on one structure and that same structure 3 weeks in a row. Like figure out whether it's going to be wants, has, whatever is most high frequency and what seems most compelling to those kids, and stick with that. You have no time with them. That's crazy. And then start advocating for more time. Say, I can't do anything. 45 minutes once a week is so hard. So just lower your expectations. Know that you can only do so much with that little time, and just don't stress it. Rebecca, thank you. I'm so excited to see these students. It's going to be awesome. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. And gracias, Viviana. I know, seriously, Viviana, you're the best. Yay. I will do one on circumlocution. No problem. You're welcome. You're welcome. You guys, I'm so lucky to do this. You fuel me. You fuel me. Okay, so next Saturday, 9 a.m., Song of the Month. I'll be talking about it for all teachers, so French teachers. I've received 10 emails this last week on Song of the Month for French, and I haven't responded to them because I'm too overwhelmed, so I'm just going to do a live video and get a lot of questions answered, I hope. I do have a blog on Song of the Month in advance. If you want to read that, that's fine. I love you guys. I hope you have an awesome Saturday, an awesome weekend. I'm so lucky to know you all. I'm so lucky to do this with y'all. Viviana, te adoro. I love you all, and I will see you next Saturday. Thanks for joining me. Bye. Okay, I can't end it. Just kidding. Bye.